I totally missed. That was excellent. Woo. And now we just wait for the colours to run. So I just lightly etched it, and you can see this line of wrought iron running through the piece. The rest of it seems to be homogeneous. Originally I suspected it was shear steel, but there's no banding or anything like that. But this is definitely wrought iron from what it sparked like, so, and that's a delamination. But I'm not too worried about its structural integrity, because it just seems to be a minor weld flaw that runs along there. But otherwise it all seems pretty welded. So there you have it, guys, the Viking steak anvil. Now this was a really interestingly challenging build. There were so many different things that were challenging about it. Obviously the weight was one. I mean, it's now 5 kilos, but it started out as 6. And you know, moving that much metal by hand is a lot of work. I couldn't have done this, I want to say, I couldn't have done this without Mick Andrews, my good friend who swings a sledgehammer for me. He is an absolute legend, and he does this for basically no pay. And he swings a hammer like a friggin' legend, so cheers to you, Mick. Now, it's not the prettiest steak anvil you've ever seen. There are a lot of hammer dings and stuff. I could have taken them out. It would have taken a lot more time. I'm kind of running on a tight schedule, and realistically, it's not going to affect the usability of this piece. I covered just before that wrought iron running through it. Originally we thought this was just fully hardenable steel, and then I started seeing some weird, interesting spark patterns and stuff like that out of the steel, so I started thinking maybe it was shear steel, and then I figured out that someone's obviously used wrought iron to laminate some high carbon steel. This was an axle off a really old wagon, I think. I got given this steel by a friend of mine, Ben Eustace, and so cheers to Ben, and I've got another section that I'm going to turn into something else, but yeah, this was an interesting challenge. It was really hard to move. It did not want to move. Obviously, if anyone's paying attention, they can see that it falls over to the side. This side is actually perpendicular, and this side just kind of tapers out to one side, so it's not actually falling over like it looks. It is actually straight up and down. It's just that the face is longer one side than the other, and that was just from the way we were forging it. It's not going to affect it. Actually, if anything, it gives me a nice drop off to forge over if I'm doing any kind of you know, set down forging and stuff like that with bigger stock. I left it quite tall so that also I have a little bit more room to work with over the stump, which this is going into. This is actually part of a series I'm going to be doing on building up the tooling for a fully Viking style forge. So I'm going to be doing an event very, very soon, the next couple of weeks, where I'm going to be setting up a Viking style forge, and I wanted Viking style tools. Recently picked up a book on the Mastermere find. I picked up the book on that, and so I'm recreating a few things from that. This is not from that. This is based off other Anglo-Saxon Viking finds and stuff like that. But yeah, there will be a few more Viking style tooling videos very soon. If you would like to help support me in making all of these awesome tools like this, you can support me on Patreon and Ko-fi. The links will be down in the description below. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can subscribe for as little as $1 a month, and you get bonuses like behind-the-scenes videos, how-tos, that kind of stuff. Ko-fi is a single-time donation platform where you donate through PayPal, which is donated by Ko-fi in multiples of 3. So you basically buy me a coffee, which is great. Keeps gas in the tank. It's awesome. I love all of you for supporting me. If you don't or can't support me monetarily, then you can support me just by hitting that like button, by sharing this with your friends, and by giving me a comment, just letting me know what you think. any suggestions, or maybe just to say hello. I'm always happy to hear from you guys. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this build. I certainly did. It was a lot of work. I am completely buggered now. This was, this was the biggest billet I've ever worked with. But there will be some bigger, awesome, well, not bigger, but more awesome stuff coming in the near future. Keep your eyes out for that, guys. And make sure you get out to your workshop and make something beautiful. Just like this, even though this is ugly as hell. I hope you go and make something, because making stuff is awesome. Have a good one, guys. Cheers. And a big thank you to my patrons, Jared, Nathan, Andy, and Kine. You guys are awesome. You guys keep gas in the tank and a hammer in my hand. Cheers, guys.